A little more than a year ago, I made a video saying that the Derrick Rose trade was an absolutely lopsided trade. And they shipped him off to New York, which they pretty much got. They did not get equal value whatsoever. This is an absolute lopsided trade, in my opinion. The Knicks got an absolute steal, and the Chicago Bulls just got a fistful of bench players. Yeah. And now seeing this trade, there are two complete opposites that it's ridiculous, like the comparison that I made a year ago. How's it going, guys? Mr. Game of Famer, and today welcome to another episode of Sports Talk. And in this episode of Sports Talk, we have to talk about probably the biggest move in the NBA. Yes, even bigger than, the draft and the Chris Paul trade and the Jimmy Butler trade and Phil Jackson leaving. Recently, Paul George was traded from the Indiana Pacers to the OKC Thunder in exchange for Victor Oladipo, Domantas Sabonis, and that's it. That's it. Those two players for Paul George, who is an all-star in this league. He is 26, 27, so he's kind of entering his prime. The man is an absolute beast. He's probably one of the best small forwards in the game. And my thoughts on this is that it's a fleece. It really is a fleece. And that has nothing to take away from Victor Oladipo or Sabonis. I keep saying Sabonis, I don't know why. They are solid players. Victor Oladipo is a solid shooting guard. Not the player that we thought he was going to be coming out of college a couple years ago. He's still a good player. He isn't a great all-star player. And Sabonis has actually started a bunch of games for OKC. But I can't really say anything about him because I don't really watch OKC. Although I say a little bit about Victor Oladipo, although I don't watch a lot of OKC basketball. So, Sabonis, I don't really know a whole lot. But we all know about Paul George. He's an absolute all-star. And yes, this is an absolute steal. How this trade just happened with just these two players being flipped for Paul George is crazy. And it reports that Indiana got better offers like a week ago from Boston, and I think this was not only a steal by OKC, but I think it was a panic move by the Pacers. Because they rejected that huge offer, and they probably think, oh crap, we just turned away from a fantastic offer. Who knows if we're going to get as good as an offer like that. So we need to try to get a decent offer and try to get rid of him. And I think it's kind of like a panic buy, a panic sell. Kind of like what the Kings did last season when they traded DeMarcus Cousins to the Pelicans. They had better offers, and they kind of panicked, and they traded away for a bunch of scraps. Although Buddy Hield played pretty well in his arrival with the Kings, but the other, Caspi, I think, was in it, and I think he was waived, so that's nothing. But this is a deal that is wow. This is a perfect fit for Paul George. He's gonna be with Russell Westbrook, the MVP of the season, the last season, and this is gonna be deadly because Russell Westbrook had to do everything for that OKC team. Now he can relax a little bit because he has Paul George now, so there's that. He has another guy, kind of what he was lacking last year when Kevin Durant left. So I've been talking a lot about OKC. Let's talk about Indiana. I guess I talked a little bit about Indiana, and I guess they're in a rebuild. I guess they're in a rebuild. They could have gotten a lot more if the rebuild could be, okay, yeah, we traded away our star player, but at least we got something. Here, they panicked and they didn't really get a whole lot in return. And yes, compared to what I said last year about the Derrick Rose trade, I thought was a pretty good fleece by the Knicks, is because I was thinking maybe D Rose healed, he could be some playmaker player, he can do a lot of good stuff, and they're just trading away. Who they trade away? I think Jose Calderon, Jaren Grant, I think another piece, and that's it. And I think like a second round pick, I think. But if they get that 75, 80, 85% MVP Derrick Rose back in 2011, then that's a steal. And what did they get? They got probably half MVP Derrick Rose, someone who lost his shooting touch, someone who can run the floor, who was relatively healthy, but he didn't really do it. He had the whole off the court issue where he didn't even arrive for a game. So that was a mess, and I'll take that back. I'll take that back a little bit. I do think the Bulls got nothing in return, but in New York's eyes, he's gonna be there for one season and he's gonna be gone. He's already gone. He's not gonna be back. So there's that. So yeah, I think this is. I don't know if this is like a little bit of like a stepping stone for Paul George to go to LA. I doubt it. If they have a good year, I think he's gonna stay there for a bit. And I would have loved Paul George to come to Washington. I think a lot of Washington fans would have loved to seen him. They probably would have had like a deal with Otto Porter. And speaking of Otto Porter, Kings had an offer sheet. Let's see if the Wizards match it. My thoughts. I hope they match it because I like Otto Porter. He's not amazing, but he's a good player. And I think if they want to trade for a good player, like a really star small forward, he'd be a good piece. But anyway, go back to Paul George. I would love him to see him in Washington. But anyway, can't talk about that. But move on. It's not gonna happen. So yeah, overall, I think it's a fantastic deal for OKC. They got a absolute fantastic player, and they traded two pretty good players. I would say Oladipo is a good player, and Sabonis I think is a decent player who started a bunch of games. I would say that. And also, the East is lacking now. The East is just, it's Cleveland, Boston, and that's it, really. Obviously Washington's my team, but it's really lacking something. There's a bunch of the East Coast players are moving to the West Coast. The West Coast is stacked. If you want to see an easier way to get to the NBA Finals, come to the East. Join the Wizards. Don't join the Boston Celtics. No one likes the Celtics. Don't join the Cavaliers. They don't need any more help. So, and that's really it. I don't know what else to say. Like I said, great deal by OKC. Absolute steal. And Indiana, you could have done better. You could have done a lot better. So guys, what are your thoughts on the Paul George trade? What you thought on the OKC side and how you thought they did compared to what the Indiana Pacers did? So what are your thoughts? Thank you guys for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe for more content on this channel. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Game of Fame. Link in the description. And I'll see you guys next time.